Okay, question one. I am a sympathetic person. True now and when I was young, only true now. True only when I was younger than 16, never true. True only when I was younger than 16. Oh, is that when autism fully fleshes out? I would honestly, if I would say I'm more sympathetic now than I was when I was a kid. When I was a kid, I used to just, I didn't, I mean, specifically, one of the things that pops into my head is I used to be so much more resilient to violence. Like I could watch more violence and stuff in movies and whatnot, and I wouldn't give two shits about it. Now I'm like way more like, whoa. I mean, just a lot of just in general media, I'm just like, whoa, I cannot look at that. And then I mean, I know that's not sympathy in and of itself, but I think when I was a kid, I was way more psychopathic. But I wasn't completely devoid of sympathy. So maybe I'll say both. I'll say both. Everyone knows autism fully develops at 16. Yeah. I'll say both. I often use words and phrases from movies and television in conversation. Yo, that's both. I am often surprised when others tell me I have been rude. Again, only this happened more so when I was young. When I was young, I'd let shit fly and I wouldn't give two shits about it. Now I'm a little more cognizant of that. I'll say true only when I was younger than 16. Sometimes I talk too loudly or too softly and I'm not aware of it. I think I would say probably again now. Only true now. Or no, I'm sorry. Only when I was younger than 16. Number 5, I often don't know how to act in social situations. Nah, I think this is never true. I can put myself in other people's shoes. More so now. I just feel like older I've gotten, the more skilled I've gotten with these, with these social cues and whatnot and understanding other people. I'll say true now. Number 7, I have a hard time figuring out what phrases mean, like you are the apple of my eye. No, never true. I only like to talk to people who share my special interests. I think this one might be, I really hate talking about shit that I don't care about. I really hate talking about shit. People, I hate the pleasantries, the general societal pleasantries you have to go through with people. You have to talk about the weather. You have to talk about the traffic. You have to talk about general sports and bullshit like that. And that shit is just so grating to me. I want to just jump past that. Can we just talk about real shit? Can we talk about real human shit? I do not like talking about stuff that doesn't seem relevant or it's not interesting to me. So I agree. I think this is true now and when I was young. I focus on details rather than the overall idea. No, I don't think it's ever true. I always notice how food feels in my mouth. What? What? Food feels in my mouth? This is more important to me than how it tastes. Oh, I see. Okay, like the texture of it. I'm gonna say never true. I eat whatever, man. I don't really give a shit. I miss my best friends or family when we were apart for a long time. More true when I was younger. I think that specifically in the last couple of years, I've been way more willing to be alone. I've been way more willing to cut people off and to just be myself and just not have to deal with other people's bullshit. Because everybody's just on their own bullshit. And I want to be on my bullshit, clearly, as we just talked about. I want to talk about my shit that I want to talk about, and I want to be on my own bullshit. I want to be on Jacob time. I want to talk about Jacob topics. That's a little selfish. Like I say, that's a little selfish, but it gets a bit much, when you talk to a bunch of different people and they're each on their own wavelength and they're each doing their own shit, and then they try and prescribe that shit to you, and you're like, it's a lot. It's too many constraints from people. So I'm gonna say I'm not fully there. I'm not fully to like, oh, I still miss family and friends. I do, but I think it's becoming less and less as time goes on. I feel like I'm gonna say only true now. Sometimes I offend others by saying what I'm thinking, even if I don't mean to. Oh yeah, dude, true now and when I was young. I only like to think and talk about few things that interest me. Both. I'd rather go out to eat in a restaurant by myself than with someone I know. Nah, I'll say never true. I don't. That shit's kind of weird to me. I cannot imagine what it would be like to be someone else. I'll say only true now. I have been told that I'm clumsy or uncoordinated. I've never been told that I'm clumsy or uncoordinated, but I've definitely done clumsy and uncoordinated things. And I feel like I do it fairly frequently. Almost to the point to where I know, like, I don't even want to try whatever. I don't even want to go rollerblading. You know, I don't even want to go ice skating because I know I'm just going to biff it. So I just completely kind of avoid the clumsy, uncoordinated shit, you know? So I don't, again, I haven't been told it, but I feel like I understand that that's kind of the way I am. I think I am a little more clumsy or uncoordinated. I'll just say true now when I was young. Others consider me odd or different. Yeah, I'll say that. I consider myself odd, honestly. I understand when friends need to be comforted. I understand it, but I hate doing it. I'm very sensitive to the way clothes feel when I touch them. How they feel is more important to me than how they look. No, I don't think so. I like to copy the way certain people speak and act. It helps me appear more normal. The first part is true. The second part, not true. This is like a bullshit question because it's like asking you two things in one. I'll just say never true. It can be very intimidating for me to talk to more than one person at the same time. Yeah, I think that's true. I think I strive in situations that it's one-on-one, but it's a skill, I think, because it's, I mean, that's like public speaking, right? It's like, what are we talking about here? We're talking about public speaking, talking to multiple people at once, kind of presenting your ideas to people, what you think. And that's something that takes a while to kind of hone in on and get good at because it's a different animal than talking with somebody one-on-one. It's literally one set of eyes you have to look at, one person you have to interact with versus 10 different people. You got to do more of a general, you have to do more of a general kind of communication to the mass of people rather than to one-on-one. One-on-one, it's way more personalized. I'll say true when I was younger than 16. I think that's a skill I've gotten better at. That's right. A lot of this is weird because it's like some of this is like, it's not set in stone for me. Like there's things that I was worse at when I was younger. There's things that I've gotten better at with time. And now I would be like, I don't think I'm that bad at talking to multiple people at once. But I might have been worse or more adverse to it when I was younger. I don't know. It's weird. I have to act normal to please other people and make them like me. I have to act normal. I don't care about this. I don't care about acting normal. I'll just say never true. Meeting new people is usually easy for me. These are tough. These answers are very definitive, and this is not always the case. I guess that would mean I'm not autistic if I'm able to sit there and sift through the differences of these scenarios in my life where I think an autistic person would be way more one note on these things. I don't know. I'll just say never true. I got highly confused when someone interrupts me when I'm talking about something I'm very interested in. Highly confused? No, I'll just say never true. It is difficult for me to understand how other people are feeling when we are talking. No. I like having a conversation with several people, for instance, around a dinner table at school or at work. I mean, again, it's like, I feel like I know what they're getting at here. It's a different beast talking to multiple people versus one person. And I would say it's harder to talk to multiple people. I think just by the nature of what it is, you have a bunch of different people and a bunch of different viewpoints, and you're on the spotlight. You're like public speaking. So it's like, yeah, that's tougher. And I think I am more hesitant to do that in a lot of scenarios if I don't have to, but I don't think it's not like a mental deficiency or a social deficiency. I don't think it is. It's just, yeah, I don't know. I think it's just easier to talk to people one-on-one for sure. I'll just say never true. I take things too literally so often. I often miss what people are trying to say. No. It is very difficult for me to understand when someone is embarrassed or jealous. No. Some ordinary textures that do not bother others feel very offensive when they touch my skin. No. I get extremely upset when the way I like to do things is suddenly changed. I get upset when the things I like to do, when the things I do are too stagnant. I feel like I have this cycle. I have like this boom bust cycle where I get in a rhythm doing the same shit over and over and over again. And I like it and it feels structured and it feels good. And then after a certain point, I just feel like I need to explode and I need to do something radically different. So I don't get necessarily upset. I'll just say never true. I have never wanted or needed to have what other people call an intimate relationship. No, I'll say never true. I think I'm into that. It is difficult for me to start and stop a conversation. I need to keep going until I'm finished. Yeah, I'll say true. True now and when I was young. Yeah, I hate that shit. I hate losing my train of thought. I hate it when it gets derailed and it's like, dude, my main point is completely out the window. That shit drives me crazy. And I hate it when it happens to other people too in conversation, when somebody interrupts or they get, it's like, no. What were you saying? What was the main point? What were you getting at? Get back to that. And then a lot of times people forget and you're like, fuck. I speak with a normal rhythm. Yeah, I think that's true. The same sound, color, or texture can suddenly change from very sensitive to very dull. No, I don't think so. The phrase "I've got you under my skin" makes me uncomfortable. I mean, when I think about it, it kind of makes me uncomfortable, but just hearing it straight up doesn't really do anything to me. I'll just say never true. Sometimes the sound of a word or high-pitched noise can be painful to me. This test is stupid. I'm sorry, Dick. These are two separate things. The sound of a word or a high-pitched noise. High-pitched noise can be painful to my ears. Absolutely. The sound of a word, never. I mean, I don't think anybody said anything that's like, like I don't go like autism mode like that. But a high-pitched noise, I do think I am pretty sensitive to loud noises. I guess I'll just say true because half of this is true. Can be painful. Yeah, I'll just say true. I am an understanding type of person. Understanding? I know I'm going autism mode with the autism test. I can't dilly-dally too long on these questions because we have 80 of them, so I got to go kind of fast. I'll just say only true now. I think I was less understanding when I was younger. I do not connect with characters in movies and cannot feel what they feel. I mean, largely, no. I'll say never true. There's a lot of times I watch movies and I do feel a disconnect, and I'm like, I don't really. But if it's a good movie, that's the thing. If it's a good movie, it's like, oh, if I relate to it, right? I cannot tell when someone is flirting with me. Okay, this is probably true of like 99% of men. Okay. And the inverse is true as well. People have accused me of flirting with people that I'm just talking to. It's like if I'm talking to a woman, relatively attractive woman, and I'm just being me, which is, I mean, come on. If I'm just being me and I'm being funny and I'm making her laugh, people are like, you're flirting. And I'm like, no, actually, I was just fucking around. I was being me. But then I can't really tell. I'll just say true now and when I was young. I can see in my mind in exact details things that I am interested in. Exact details? No, I don't think I can do. Like, my mind is not that concrete. I mean, you can see some stuff, but it's not like exact detail things that I'm interested in. Like, nah, I'm just going to say never true. I keep lists of things that interest me even when they have no practical use. For example, sports statistics. No, this has never been me. When I feel overwhelmed by my senses, I have to isolate myself to shut them down. No. I like to talk things over with my friends. Yes. I cannot tell if someone is interested or bored with what I'm saying. No, I can absolutely tell that. It can be very hard to read someone's face. No. The same thing, like clothes or temperatures, can feel very different to me at different times. I feel like I know what they're getting at here, but it's just confusing because I think, yeah, temperatures absolutely can feel different at different times. If I'm out in the cold all day, coming into a super hot shower feels way better than in the summertime. Like, I don't know. It's a weird question. I'll just say never true. I feel very comfortable with dating or being in social situations with others. Yeah, I'll say it's true. I try to be as helpful as I can when other people tell me their personal problems. I'll say true, but I talk things through with people. Now, whether or not they actually take what I say and run with it, that's a whole other situation. I have been told that I have an unusual voice. No. Sometimes a thought or a subject gets stuck in my mind and I have to talk about it even if no one is interested. Sometimes. Yeah, I'll say that. I do certain things with my hands over and over again, like flapping, twirling sticks or strings, waving things by my eyes. Yeah, I'll say it's true. I've never been interested in what most of the people I know consider interesting. I've never been interested in what most of the people I know consider interesting. What if the people you know are boring curmudgeons? Do you really have to think about if you flail your hands about? They're saying like repeatedly, like, do you like, and sometimes I do. Sometimes I'll play with something, I don't know, like a pen or something. Like sometimes I do. It's not like always though. It's not like I have to. I have never been interested in what most of the people I know consider interesting. I'll just say never true. I'm considered a compassionate type of person. No, I don't think I'm that compassionate. I don't think people would say I'm that compassionate. I get along with other people by following a set of specific rules that help me look normal. Somewhat. Again, going through the mundane bullshit, small talk. Good morning. Good morning. How are you? Good. Like, yeah, I do that to go along to get along. Is that what they're saying? I feel like they're getting at something a little more like universal with someone. They're getting at something a little more universal in someone's personality. Like you have to literally load up like conversations in your mind, and I just don't do that. I actually do better off the rip, I think. So I'll just say never true. It's very difficult for me to work and function in groups. No, I think I'm good in groups. When I'm talking to someone, it is hard to change the subject. If the other person does so, I can get very upset and confused. Now, see, the second part of this, I don't think I get upset and confused, but I don't like changing the subject if we haven't gotten to the resolution of the subject. I hate that shit. So, like, this part, not true. This part, I think is true. So, what do I go with that? There's no, there's like no middle ground here. I'll just say never true. Sometimes I have to cover my ears to block out painful noises. This is true. I hate, man, when a biker goes by my house or when the freaking eternal dually revs his engine and burns coal, it drives by. I hate that noise, dude. I hate that noise. I hate cops too. That shit is just like, oh my gosh. I can chat and make small talk with people. I think it's probably more, I'm better at that now. Like I said, getting along in the social settings of adulthood. I think I'm better at that now. I'll say only true now. Sometimes things that should feel painful are not. For instance, when I hurt myself or burn my hand on the stove. Yeah, no, I don't know what the hell that is. When talking to someone, I have a hard time telling when it is my turn to talk or listen. No. I'm considered a loner by those who know me best. No, I don't think so. I usually speak in a normal tone. I feel like my tone fluctuates, but I don't know what. I'd say true. That's true. I like things to be exactly the same day after day, and even small changes in my routine. No. How to make friends and socialize is a mystery to me. No. It calms me to spin around or to rock in a chair when I feel stressed. Like this. I do this frequently. I do this every night. Yeah, there's not sometimes. I know. It's very definitive. It's like only true now, true when I was younger than 16, both or never. And it's like, how about true sometimes? Jacob is AI. Am I? How would you know? Nobody's going to tell you. Why don't you grok it? Jacob comes across as a refreshingly normal sort of chap. Why'd you put normal in quotes? What the heck? The phrase he wears his heart on his sleeve does not make sense to me. No, that's... If I am in a place where there are many smells, textures to feel, noises or bright lights, I feel anxious or frightened. Anxious or... Sensory overload is absolutely a real thing, and I think that everybody has that. So... But anxious or frightened? I don't think I get frightened. I think it's more like, whoa, I can't even... that kind of like, I can't even look at this. This is like a circus of lights and colors. Like, geez. Anxious. No, I'll just say never true. I can tell when someone says one thing but means something else. True. I like to be myself as much as I can. Oh, very true. I hate conforming, dude. I hate being forced to be other than what I want to be. It's like people wagging their finger, like your mom or some shit wagging her finger at you, like, get out of my face. I keep my thoughts stacked in my memory like they're on filing cards, and I pick out the ones I need to look through. No, I don't think so. The same sound sometimes seems very loud or very soft, even though I know it has not changed. No, I don't think so. I enjoy spending time eating and talking with my family and friends. Yeah, I love that, dude. I love going out to eat and shooting the shit. It's my favorite thing ever. I can't tolerate things I dislike, like smells, textures, sounds, or I mean, who tolerates things they dislike? I think most people like get away from that shit. I think they say, no, I don't want that. I don't want that smell or that texture. I don't like that color, so I'm not going to paint my house that color. Like, yeah, I think that's just like a normal thing to have. Yeah, I don't tolerate things I dislike. Yep, that's. I think that's a fairly basic thing. I don't like to be hugged or held. I'll be honest. A lot of people are going to call me crazy, but I am not a hugger. I do not care that much about hugging. I've never really been a hugger. I just don't know. I don't. It's okay at times. It's fine, but I'm never. There's people who just are like just envelop me in your body and crush me, and I love it. And I'm just never. I'm like, no, man. I'm okay with it as a formality, but I've never been much of a hugger. Sorry, I know that's crazy. I know a lot of people might be like, "Whoa, you're crazy. You're inhuman. You're a crazy person. You've got autism." But no, I don't know. I don't know what it is. It's just like it's like mid to me. It's like not a thing. When I go somewhere, I have to follow a similar route, or I can get very confused and upset. These charged words, very confused and upset. I start to shake and cover my ears and scream. Like, no, I don't do that. I get somewhat confused when I'm lost. Right? I think that everybody does. Yeah, I follow a familiar route. Yeah. But I don't get very confused and upset. So I'll just say never true. It is difficult to figure out what other people expect of me. That's a weird question. It's difficult to figure out what other people expect. People don't expect that much out of me. I'll be honest. I feel like a lot of people in my life don't expect that much. They're more like negative expectations. Like, don't go to prison. Don't be a murderer. Don't be homeless. It's not like we want you to do it. So it's like the expectations are, and that stuff I've largely skirted around for most of my life, for all my life, I should say. So I want to say yes, because most people don't outright tell me what they expect of me. But at the same time, I just think maybe they don't expect that much out of me. I'll just say never true. I like to have close friends. True. At least one. People tell me that I give too much detail. No, I don't think so. I'm often told that I ask embarrassing questions. No, I don't think so. It's not the question itself, it's how you ask the question. Okay. I tend to point out other people's mistakes. No, not really. They've emailed the PDF results to me. Let's take a look at this. Chat, what does this mean? What did I get? I got a good score? I got a D? I got a D! What the hell, man? I failed the autism quiz. Damn it. So I got 63 was my raw score. I'm down here. It just needs to say not autistic in big bright red letters. I'm on the verge of having some autistic traits. I think all men are like slightly autistic, not consistent with autism. Dick, are you in chat? What did you get on this? What do you guys think Dick got? He probably got up here. Pronounced autism. No, I'm just kidding. You are not special. Damn it, dude. Damn it. Whatever. We got to take the schizophrenia quiz, though. Overall, not consistent with autism. Okay. Pronounced schizophrenia. No. I didn't think I had autism. Although some people, my siblings, my sisters, have said that at times. You're like autistic. Why are you like so fucking? And I think it's more of a, it's a throwaway insult than anything. But I got a 73. Oh shit. So what was that? Is that Oh, so you're up in the dick in chat, boys. He got a 73. So he's in some autistic traits. I'm just outside of it. I think most men probably are like right around here. And then the outliers, obviously. And I think most women are probably like here. But okay. All right. I didn't think so, but it's good to take a look at on stream.